some people would probably gonna think about this. At least I'm thinking about it. Stressed animals and that type of thing. Do you use anything other scents? Maybe like a lavender scent. I don't know. I'm just, you might be like, oh, that's an interesting idea, Maria. Maybe we can do something. Because, they have different plugins for like cats, for pheromones and that type of thing. So just throwing that out there.
Yeah, you bring up a really, really good point. We have been asked, and actually, we're just sending some bubbles out to a canine trainer who has a huge following and would love to talk to us, but he really wants to try them with his animals. He has a daughter who has autism and knows that bubbles work as a calming and an interactive thing for kiddos that have autism, and we've known that for years. So he really wants to see kind of the calming effect of just bubbles in the scented bubbles with with his canines. We are experimenting with some different scents, like you said, lavender, eucalyptus, some of the other kind of natural, almost the aromatherapy type
Exactly.
things, because when you blow a bubble, you're really creating a diffuser. Like when you create this orb of water and it's floating around in a little soap and fragrance, it's actually scenting the air. So it would be natural to try to find some scents that would be more of a calming for anxiety and stress and whatever, and we're actually looking into that as we speak. So that's a great thought, and many people have asked us to do that.
I too have a brain like yours that always is like processing and thinking. And 3 o'clock in the morning, I wake up and I'm like, oh, that would be so cool.
Yeah.
What a great idea. Whether it comes to fruition or not is a whole nother thing. But yeah. I mean, because I too deal with a lot of dogs. I have a large aggression caseload. And a separation anxiety caseload. And it's pets are suffering. Cats, usually it's more that household cat to cat aggression. So it's nice to have different options for people to turn to. How would people even get a hold of you if they want to purchase something or research? Do you have a website or anything to that effect?
Absolutely, yeah. You can find us out there online. Our home website is Atomic Bubbles, plural, atomicbubbles.com. You can find out about all of our pet and human bubble products there, and all of our products are for sale there.
Nice.
The big e-commerce spots, your Amazon, your Etsy's, your eBay's, are good places to find us, online. Right now, we're excited. I actually just joined Indie Pet today, so we're going to start reaching out to more local independent stores to get these products into local neighborhoods, so people can buy them right off the shelf. Here locally, we have a 20-store chain in St. Louis, Treats Unleashed, and they've been a customer of ours for many years and had great success selling bubbles. Yeah.
That's excellent. What a great idea. To get them into like boutiques and maybe even some grooming shops.
Yes.
I mean,
We've been
daycare, training centers. I mean, I would have, when I had my facility, I would have carried it there for sure. Definitely.
Yeah. We've even started. We're trying to build a program and a system with bubble machines and such for the for the doggy daycares and training centers. Dogtopia uses us in their stores currently with great success. But yeah, we'd like to just just kind of enhance it. We know a lot about bubbles. We know how to make really good bubbles. What we're constantly finding is just new and creative, innovative ways, just like what you mentioned about calming scents. What else can we do, or what else could we create that could actually help the well-being and wellness of a pet.
Yeah, for sure. Micro bubbles, micro bubble diffuser or something like that for the lavender, instead of like full on bubbles even, is
Right.
something. I don't know if they make that, but I'm sure it can be made if they don't. But what
Right.
about, like, has anybody called you, like, when I had my facility, it's like, oh, let's do, a dog birthday for, Bella, and she's going to be 5 this year. Have you been called out to either a facility for a birthday party or something, or even to somebody's home? Like dog weddings, you should do dog weddings too, John.
Oh my gosh. You and I
Listen,
would be,
I mean,
you and I would be
I told
very
you my
dangerous.
brain.
We would be very dangerous together.
We would be, but we'd probably make a lot of money together. We should talk about that at the end. We should partner in something, I swear.
Um, so we came out with a birthday cake scented pet bubble just for that reason.
Oh,
So
nice.
we found that a lot of people these days are celebrating their pets' birthdays, and birthday parties for dogs and cats is a big thing. I mean, it's
Huge.
everybody's doing it, and so we actually did develop a birthday cake scented bubble.
Nice. That's
And
awesome.
it's cute. It's got a little birthday cake on the side of it with a candle, and it kind of smells like that yellow birthday cake that your mom baked for you when you were 5 years old, right?
Mhm.
That golden, the Duncan Hines golden birthday cake.
Yes, just that basic yellow cake.
Basic yellow. Yeah. If you close your eyes, you'd swear you were in front of a
Nice.
man.
That's awesome. That's
Uh,
awesome.
yeah.
I love it. That's really great. What are, like, um you do go to some trade shows, right? Have you gone to, like, different, like, maybe training trade shows or anything like that where you're reaching trainers also? Because there are a lot of pet organizations
You know,
that have
yeah, we're finding.
conferences.
Yep. So last year was the first time we showed at Global, and
Mhm.
that was wonderful. So we're signed up for Global and Super Zoo this year, which we're
Mhm.
really excited about. Um, I've been approached by the veterinarian group at
Mhm.
trade shows, because I think it'd be great, if we can get them in, if we can get people thinking, hey, the bubbles are for exercise, fitness, well-being, to help combat, obesity, which is rampant in pets.
Oh yeah.
I had no idea.
Oh yeah.
It's as bad, if not worse, in pets than it is in humans.
Uh-huh. A lot of
Um,
four-legged coffee table dogs walking
oh,
around out there. Hmm.
absolutely. So we're always looking at new markets to get into, and what's that? We're kind of a niche boutique business. I mean,
Yeah.
we're a mom and pop shop. My wife and I started this company and just have worked really hard all of our lives, and we just slow and steady wins the race is kind of our motto here. So
Mhm.
we're just looking for those avenues or those marketplaces or those needs, I guess. It's a better word for it. Where what could we do, or what problems could we solve?
Right.
What are people needing out there for us to help
Yeah.
with? So
Yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot. There's a lot of aggression and a lot of anxiety, just off the top. And
right.
then the exercise and enrichment. Yeah, I'm all about that for sure. I would definitely um, encourage my clients to do that because it's so important, you
Yeah.
know.
Right.
So,
And the one thing too that we've been promoting, and I guess I tell people I got into the bubble business kind of for entertainment and fun. That's when we started the business, we were doing it for humans, and our mission was to make people smile. We got into it, at least in the beginning, the same way we're pets. We wanted people to have fun with their pets while blowing bubbles. But
mhm.
we quickly found that we were getting text messages and people were reaching out to us say, my dog hasn't moved like this in years. they react to these bubbles really strong, and they just, they don't stop moving. When I go for that bubble bottle or gun, they're just all over the place.
Oh
So
yeah.
it really gave us just kind of, it's like, wow, these things are more than entertainment, even though that's a wonderful thing in and of itself. And so, it's interesting. We didn't really start it that way, but the evolution of it has kind of come around. It's like, okay, let's embrace this and see where else we can go with it,
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
No, we talked about several different ideas, so you've got some avenues to discover to go down.
I have Maria, I have some homework after this call.
You do. First, you have to show this to your wife so she can be like, okay, that's a good, now that one's terrible, but that's a good idea. Let's investigate that.
Oh,
For
yeah.
sure.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's just so many different ways you can go for sure because of all the different, it just hits so many different marks in the dog world and the cat world too. So are you going to make like maybe a tuna scented? That might be kind of gross. But, if you're a cat lover, maybe you're like, yeah, okay, that's cool. I'm down with the tuna scented bubble. But have you ever thought of something like that other than catnip?
You know what? I'm looking for that next best cat scent because I have several really good ones for the puppies. But I haven't. Maybe it's that calming one. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's that lavender and
Right.
I don't know. I don't know how they're going to respond, but getting it out there and sending it out to folks and let them test and play with them and experiment. But if you come up with something, have you found in your workings, like like in aromatherapies, or is there, are there known scents, in the industry for pets now that are used for calming?
I know that lavender is a huge one. I'm not sure about like chamomile, if that scent, I know it's a calming tea, but I don't know how it would, affect a pet, aroma, like as far as aromatherapy. So I'm not that well versed in aromatherapy, but as
Right.
far as tinctures, so I mean, I wouldn't see why you couldn't use other herbs that are out there that are made in tinctures, like Bach flowers, for like rescue remedy, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the Bach flower company used to, and I'm sure they still do, but I used to use several different Bach flowers on myself. But I did also use Rescue Remedy on my Jack Russell. I would just give him a little dose, actually, in his ear, just a couple drops. But I would look into those, like what flowers are they using in those tinctures,
Okay.
and go from there for sure.
Right.
Yeah, but definitely, because there's a whole plethora out there, and even like Chinese medicine. I mean, we can go down a huge rabbit hole, but basically hitting things like anxiety, and really aggression is fear and anxiety type of thing, all in this huge ball. And then people use punishment, so it exacerbates the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, most people, regular, not regular, but just like everyday people, everyday dog owners, may not know that it's not going to help for you to shock your dog, you know,
Right.
because they're aggressive. Like, you need to maybe not squash that growl, because we need that so we know what the dog is going to do, and the dog's warning you and telling you so much. So let's not squash that. We need that to stay safe.
Right.
Um, so I think focusing on things like the calming or the fear type of stuff, because I just, they're, in my opinion, they're linked to the outcome of that aggressive behavior. And also pain. I mean, pain is linked huge to aggression,
Yes.
and people miss that a lot. So
Right, right. Isn't it interesting? Like when you go in, like, our our sense of smell, they say it's one of the most powerful senses, right? The
Oh
olfactory.
yeah.
And isn't it interesting when you I was at case in point, I was at a concert last night with my younger daughter. I mean, she brought me to this EDM concert, and I was the oldest dude there. It was, here I am. Everybody looked 12 years old to me.
Right.
But anyway, there was
That's
this, I don't know if it, if somebody was wearing this cologne or they were cranking this scent in, but it was this, it was almost like this orchid flower scent.
Mm.
And there were so many people in this crowd. And it's like, I was starting to get a little like jittery. And then all of a sudden I started smelling this, and it's like, all of a sudden it's like, this sense of calm came over me. And I walked out of there, and it's like that, it was the smell. I mean, and I don't know, if the venue was cranking it in there, or if a gal had, or someone was wearing a cologne or a perfume that had this, but man, I tell you what, it just really kind of like diffused me. It's like, I wasn't concerned about, these 30,000 people I was smushed against,
No, isn't that crazy?
Yeah. It was great. And I mean, who knows what it was? It just took over, but where you have those other smells that, that can, make aggression or make you stressed out. And we all have them, and I'm sure dogs have them too. It's a typical, he only barks at the mail carrier or the guy that reads my gas meter, and it doesn't matter what, if it's a uniform or whatever, but there's something there that the dogs, growl at.
Yeah.
And they're the nicest people.
Yeah. And it's like, or, a lot of people say, oh, my dog they can smell fear. And it's like, yeah, probably, because their olfactory system is off the hook, so, I mean, I bet, because our whole chemical makeup changes when we're afraid, and, and they're like, oh, you're a little scared. Let me take advantage of some dogs. I'm going to take full advantage of that,
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. Exactly. I think it's opened up a whole kind of Pandora's box for us. And I think, I hope I have enough time left here. I'm 60 years old. So, I'm kind of at this stride in my life now where I'm really having fun with what I'm doing. I'm really enjoying it, and kind of the mission we're on right now is super fulfilling. So, I hope to just have more time to spend with it and find out. I'm going to work on these calming.
Totally. Yes. I love that. I love that. Yeah, I love that.
So,
wonderful. Sweet. What else do you want to tell me? Are you going to be like, I mean, do you have any plans of doing a little tour with the bubbles, or you're just staying local right now and going into the trade shows? Or, I have people who are like, oh, we're going to take this on the road, because I know you have the your mobile trucks for the human parties and stuff.
Right. We have all right now. We're really trying to get our production line busy enough where we can run it daily. And nice. we're just about there. So we've signed up for a couple of the major shows this year. We do some local shows. Yeah. We're fortunate enough to have Purina Nestle in our backyard. So this is St. Louis is our hometown, and we do a lot of events with Purina Farms, which is their training grounds. Wonderful people out there. St. Louis Zoo, we do a lot of things with St. Louis Zoo, and actually some of our bubbles are used for enrichment for some of the.
I didn't even talk to you about the zoo. My God, that's going to open a whole nother realm of possibility. Yeah, you can do anchovy scented; they won't care.
Yeah. And it's wonderful. So, we're concentrating, the beautiful thing about like what you're doing here is, this internet thing is amazing. You can, isn't it? We can reach people, every corner of the world, every time zone, and trying to find, lasso the power of that. So we're trying to get on and speak with as many wonderful people like yourself as we can. And then, I will probably take the bubble bus on a road show. We're actually going to drive the bubble bus down to Orlando this year for Global, and
Yeah.
and we're trying to get ourselves onto the trade show
I
floor
might
right now.
actually be going to that. It is possible. I have my friend. I started doing he's a national radio show, and called Talking Pets, and he went there last. Well, he probably goes every year. He went there, I think, last year, and I'm like, maybe I should go with you. Next year, maybe I can figure something out. But that would be excellent because then I can meet you in person.
Oh, it's fascinating. People told me about the show, and I was amazed at the size of it, how many people came through, all the countries. I saw just as many international folks in my booth as I did folks from the U.S. It was pretty crazy. I mean, and it's like, well, all these other countries and areas, they have pets, just like we.
Yeah.
But you don't. I didn't really get my head around, like I never thought about it. It's like, I'm thinking US markets and people from Turkey and Israel and from Australia.
Italy,
I mean,
yeah.
They're just coming from all corners, and it was fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
You should go. It's a great show. That, and I'm excited about Super Zoo. They say Super Zoo is really good. Has a little bit of a different vibe than Global.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to see what that show is
I
all
gotta
about.
check that out. I'm gonna check that out too. But yeah, I definitely want to go to the Global for sure. I've never been. All these years I've been in this industry and I've never been. But I've heard that it is an excellent marketing place for you.
Yeah,
In this industry for sure. But
for the viewers, if they want to reach out to info@Atomic Bubbles, Maria, that's the best way to find us if they have, or go to the website and there's a tab there. You can ask us questions or find us for sure.
Oh, did you have anything you wanted to say? Anything else you wanted to add about?
Let me see here. I had a little list. We have gone over a ton. No, you want to know what? I think we touched on every, the other thing. Well, one other thing is we've seniors and pet owners who are seniors, we've been promoting those like the bubbles for it's just easy to do, whether you're sitting on a bench or you're in a walker, or if you have mobility issues, you don't have to throw that ball to play fetch. You don't have to you can just kind of stay seated and and blow bubbles. Another cool thing that our bubbles don't create a trip hazard. So when you're playing with your animal, I mean, every morning I step on that chew toy and every morning I step on that chew toy. So with our bubbles, there's no foot pain in the morning.
I love it. I have MS, so I'm a full-time wheelchair user.
Oh.
So I'm like all about, hey, let's do this. Like I also had for my Jack Russell, when I had him, he had his own tennis ball launcher. And it was great because I didn't have to do anything, but I could enrich him. So when I heard about this, and even I think at the beginning of our conversation, I was like, that's kind of, I mentioned something about you don't have to really do anything, but yeah, it's great for my demographic and definitely for seniors. It's easy to do, and yeah, you don't have to do anything. I love things where you can make things as easy as possible for humans to help their pets. And if, sitting, and I don't know what the dispenser is like, if it's traditional with the wand, but is it traditional like that?
Yes, it is. It is. Right.
Okay. If you can just do this and blow, damn it, you're good.
Hey, you got it. Right. You've got it. You can be an expert. And
right. And enrich your dog and have a good time and, watch some TV and have a beer or a glass of wine or soda, whatever.
Right.
It's awesome. Yeah.
And pretty soon we'll have those bubbles that not only can you interact with your dog, but you can calm your animal at the same time.
Yes. Yes, do it, John. Do it. You guys do it. Make it.
I'm
Make
going
it
to go
happen.
to work. I'm going to go to work, baby, right after.
Go ahead. Go ahead. That's awesome. John, it was so awesome talking with you. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much. I'll
Thank
look
you.
for Dana's email, and I'll send you an email soon. Yeah, it's great.
That'd be wonderful. And if you
Yeah.
don't mind, we've been putting our podcast on our website, kind of our news and media. If you're okay, if we can,
Yeah.
when this launches, when you get it, if we can put a link to it, we'd love that.
Absolutely. And if you want to do the same for me, that's great. I don't have a huge following on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, but my following is much bigger, like on TikTok and on Facebook. So, maybe we can link up that way, share information. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
man,
100.
we'll reach them one bubble at a time.
That's what we're gonna do. One cookie at a time, one bubble at a time.
I love it. Well, Maria, thank you so much. I really appreciated meeting
Yeah.
you today. It was fun.
Indeed. All right, John. I know we're going to be talking for years to come on this stuff. So
Perfect.
thank you so much. Have
Yeah.
an awesome day.
And if you get down to Global, check us out. Just find our booth. Look us up. We'll be under Atomic Bubbles, and come by and see me. Okay.
I will. Okay.
All right, sweetie.